haven't done one so far this year. So will we go ahead and do ourselves a little power ranking in the Gaelic football? And what we're going to do is do top 12 only, which means we're basically going to be predicting the teams that will get knocked out.
Yeah, I reckon we put a cap of maybe 6 or 7 minutes on this as well, and just see that
by midday we're done.
Yeah, we have to put our heads on the block here. What are we looking like? To me, the top 2 in the country, top 3, anything from Galway, Mayo, Dublin would be the top 3 for me at the moment.
Yeah, for me, Galway are my number 1. I think they're most likely to win the All-Ireland,
even though they haven't, really, apart from that, getting to last year's All-Ireland final, they haven't won anything, if you get me. Whereas the Dubs, a lot of there's serious muscle memory in a lot of these Dubs about how to actually go and win All-Irelands.
But do they look like the same Dublin? Do they look like a fading force?
Do they have to be the same Dublin, though?
Well, yes, if they're going to win an All-Ireland, because they haven't won it in the last couple of years. And to me now, this seems like a final roll of the dice. I feel like this is going to be Dessie Farrell's last year, because I don't think he brings back Stephen Cluxton. I don't think you bring back Mannion, bring in Pat Gilroy, McCaffrey, who's obviously injured at the moment. It feels like they've brought everyone back in for one roll of the dice for this management team. But I just don't know if they have quite enough to consistently perform and win an All-Ireland. Obviously, they don't have to do that to get through the group stages, and maybe they'll peak just perfectly. But I just don't know if I can rely on them totally.
I'd probably rely on them more than I'd rely on Galway. Like outside of getting to the All-Ireland final last year, they've been good this year, and they've kept, the thing I really do like about them is they've kept their score, what their concession rate is really, really low. Like, it's generally been, 11, 12, 13 points, something like that. They've been able to keep that really low. And they've obviously added Peter Cook back into the mix, and plenty of other kind of new faces where we would have probably said last year that their squad wasn't strong enough or they don't have enough options. They have lots of options. I'd agree with you on the Dubs. I think it is the last roll of the dice for a lot of them, but I would have them as All-Ireland favourites at the moment. Even what they produced against Louth in the Leinster final was, it was probably up there with some of the better performances in this year's championship by any team, or the better displays by any team. If Dublin play Galway, how does that go?
Oh, I'd go Galway all the way. No, kick of a ball type stuff, but I'd have big belief in this Galway team.
Like, you'd go with Galway all the way, kick of the ball stuff.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they wouldn't hammer them, but if you were to tell me put the neck on the block, I'd say Galway would win. Like, look at the physicality of this team and the size profile across the board. So I think Sean Kelly, obviously, Paul Kelly. Sorry, Sean Kelly's the fullback. He's not massive, man, but he's a physical player who can get stuck into lads. Paul Conroy's a big lad. Peter Cook's a big lad. Matthew Tierney's huge and he's in brilliant form. Johnny Heaney's really robust. Shane Walsh, Damien Comer came off the bench. John Maher, Sean Mulcairn, he's back in the mix as well. So to me, they've built more depth this year. They got to an All-Ireland final last year. I feel they're on the cusp of it. And of all the teams, how they're performing, I think they're performing really reliably. I think Cian O'Neill being part of the setup has really kind of brought them on the last year or so. Like, Shane Walsh isn't in top form at the moment. I know that. But as the season goes on, and they have another warm-up game, I suppose, in their group to come, I feel like they're going to get it done this year. Like, put your neck on the block.
Oh, yeah, I think the Dubs will win the All-Ireland this year, yeah.
Yeah?
I've thought that from the outset, and I'd be more than happy with the Dubs number 1. But I think it's probably a close run thing between the two of them. And from a Mayo point of view, it's probably good in a way that they got a result at the weekend against Louth, and it wasn't particularly great because it kind of deflates a bit of the hype around after that Kerry win. But if you look at how Kerry played against Cork, yeah, you probably wouldn't be taking that Mayo form against Kerry on face value, but they're definitely in the mix. It's great when we're talking about the high end of this power rankings as well. We have 3 Connacht teams like really in the mix. A Connacht team really needs to win the All-Ireland this year, as well. And as one of the commenters said there is a potential that it could be potentially a Mayo-Galway final. They are 2 of the top 3 teams in the country at the moment.
Well, look, I've taken the liberty of throwing this in. Galway number 1, Dublin number 2, Mayo 3, Kerry, the All-Ireland champions 4, Roscommon 5. But you know what? Derry deserve to be in there.
Derry definitely deserve to be in there.
What about this?
Are we been a bit? Yeah, we're probably been a bit. Are we been overly harsh on Kerry?
What have they done to make you believe this year? Like,
No,
we're talking about doing back-to-back, which, of course, they
yeah.
did back in, was it 06, 07, but, it's not easy done.
No, they haven't done much. They've obviously lost David Moran since. I think they have problems in midfield. I haven't seen something different that you usually need to see in a team that are trying to, retain the All-Ireland. What's been added to the mix? Can you tell me what's been added to the mix?
No.
That's worrying from a Kerry point of view. You'd have to say, Galway, Dublin. I want Dublin number one. I'll have that on the record, but I'm okay. Galway are the second best team, if not the best team. Mayo, Derry, Kerry, Roscoe. I'm actually happy enough with that, to be honest with you. I'm actually happy enough with that. I think Derry obviously have won back-to-back Ulsters. They only drew at Monaghan first time out. Had a good result against Donegal. They did what they had to do, I'd say, against Donegal. Probably would still have Kerry just narrowly ahead of Derry. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I probably would have Kerry. That's probably why we need a third man doing this as a cast and vote, maybe.
But I think if Derry played Kerry in the championship right now, I'd be backing Derry to win that game.
Isn't that funny? Because we had Christy McKay on last year before Slough-Neil played, and he was talking about Mark and David Clifford, and it was almost like Mark and God. And now you're thinking if they play, there is actually a fair chance that they beat them in a championship game.
Yeah, I think so.
Armagh 7, Roscommon. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that so far. Now I have to say, I'm happy. And apart from the couple of changes that I mentioned already, Kildare, the eternal enigma.
Sorry, I'm going to put Cork ahead of them.
Yeah, Kildare are so frustrating. Cork, yeah, as I said, the Kerry form probably hasn't worked out that well from a Mayo point of view, and maybe Cork look a lot better than they did. That maybe Cork looked a lot better against Kerry than they actually are. They've had a pretty disastrous season so far. Yeah, Tyrone would have to be ahead of Armagh. I'd probably have Monaghan ahead of Armagh as well, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'm willing to let you have your way on some of these things. No doubt about that. So Cork, Kildare, and then there's one other team which we have to decide who's getting through. Is it going to be Donegal? Because they'll probably get through. Oh well, sure. Clare already gone, so it would have to be Donegal then. Would you put Donegal ahead of Kildare?
So who are the other teams? Donegal, Sligo, Louth.
So the teams, yeah, okay. Donegal, yeah, Louth, Westmeath, we're not including here because they're the group with Galway, Tyrone, Armagh, and they have to play Tyrone in the last game. So I'm kind of banking on Westmeath losing that game. Sligo, I'd imagine Sligo will lose by more to Dublin than Kildare. I think Kildare will get a better result against Roscommon than Sligo will against Dublin, and then Clare are gone already.
Well, of all the teams that we've mentioned there, Donegal are the one team that are actually guaranteed to come through.
Who are Donegal?
Donegal are the one team that are guaranteed to come through. In fairness, just let me fly down through these here. Galway 1, Dublin 2, Mayo 3, Derry 4, Kerry 5, Roscommon ahead of Tyrone. Yeah, based on form this year, I'd be happy enough with that. Monaghan always reliable. 3 points so far as well. Armagh, Cork, Kildare, Donegal. I'd be happy enough with that,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's stick with that.
Now, like the beauty of the football when it really kicks off, in 4 or 5 weeks, is a lot of those could potentially be interchangeable on a given day, and that's what makes it probably the most open football championship in a long, long time.
Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Viewers, get your comments in. Do you think we're right, wrong, somewhere in between? Let us know. But that's it for our power rankings. The first one that we've done in the year. 2 minutes late, lads. Yeah, we did go out and drag on 2 minutes, but I thought we did pretty well. Tyrone should be higher, says Patrick Coleman.